This reading is an extract from my recent biography of the Liberal MP Neil Primrose, who was killed in action in World War I, and who was a New College undergraduate between 1901 and 1905. A Primrose Path, the gilded life of Lord Rosebery's favourite son. Chapter 8. Bullingdon Nights, 1905. Rosebery's written communications with Neil during his final months in Oxford are particularly mercurial. In early March he curtly dismissed the idea of his coming up to Oxford that term, and then as the end of term approached demanded a clear answer from Neil as to his Easter vacation plans. "I do not understand your plans, and I am not sure that I do now. Are you going to live here while coaching, or with the coach?" In May, Rosebery wrote from Naples to dismiss Neil's proposal that he speak to the University Liberal League. "As to the League, I should do it no service in its present condition by coming to speak. Oxford, as they say, is always in extremes, high Tory or Socialist." Rosebery's ill temper may have been as much caused by his growing political isolation and realisation that the Liberal Party did not want or need him, as it was by Neil's continued dissipation. His mood and relations with Neil improved when he won the Derby for the third time with Cicero. Neil had missed the race and subsequent Epsom celebrations due to exam purdah, and this prompted an unusual fatherly confession of guilt. "I'm almost ashamed to tell you how touched I was by your spending a sleepless night before the Derby without a bet." Neil's finals were spread over the week leading up to the end of term, and his celebration of their completion neatly coincided with his final Bullingdon dinner as president. As Rosebery had attended Thomas's final dinner, it was perhaps natural that Neil wanted his father to attend his own. But Rosebery was uncertain about coming, as he wrote on June the 13th. "It strikes me that I might be rather in the way at the Bullingdon dinner, as the presence of an aged chump is apt to be a cloud and a restraint, and my only pleasure would be seeing you as president. So perhaps I'd better give it up. I'm thinking of you and your examination." In the event, Neil and his father agreed a compromise that Rosebery would meet Neil alone before the dinner, but would attend the following morning's breakfast that Neil was to give in his rooms, that his tutor Herbert Fisher was also invited to. Fortuitously, for some unexplained reason, Fisher failed to attend, leading to the following noteworthy letter that Rosebery wrote to Fisher from Mentmore later that day. "I was sorry that you could not breakfast with Neil this morning, because I wanted to thank you for your letter, which was warming to my heart and which I shall always preserve. I shall be satisfied and relieved if Neil gets a degree at all, but as you say, he has no idea of continuous work. Probably he never will have unless political action stirs him deeply. But I'm no longer interested in that fact. I have become philosophical. We cannot shape these boys beyond a very limited extent. If they grow up healthy English gentlemen in the best sense, and not without intellect or intellectual tastes, we should thank God and not ask for more. Indeed, I comfort myself selfishly by thinking that if Neil were a Japanese in industry, efficiency and public spirit, he would not be so delightful a son to me. You say truly that he has got much out of Oxford. He did not, I remember, like going there, and he hankered at first after Christchurch, where I had been. Yet last night he spontaneously assured me that the 4 years he had spent at Oxford were the happiest of his life, and I think he added, ever expected to spend. This is all to the good, for they have not been years of folly, though there has been enough of that." Later that summer, Neil was awarded a third-class honours degree in modern history. In under 13 years he was dead, killed like so many other young officers while leading his men forward under machine gun fire, in his case at Abu Shusha in Palestine. When Warden Spooner posted Neil's name on the chapel door in November 1917, he was one of the college's best-known casualties, a Prime Minister's son and prominent Liberal MP since January 1910. He had served as Under Secretary to Sir Edward Grey at the Foreign Office in 1915, and in December 1916 Lloyd George had made him his chief whip. He had also distinguished himself in uniform, gaining the Military Cross in Egypt and twice being mentioned in dispatches. Therefore, notwithstanding his lack of academic achievement, his subsequent feats more than justified the general epithet on the vast ante-chapel memorial stone, worthy of all they learned here, and an example to all those who came after.